Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am riding this, the Hero X-Pulse. Ignore all these cars Motobeam guys are shooting. Let's focus on the X-Pulse. For starters, this particular motorcycle has an unusual headlight because the headlight is ulta. So you can see Hero is written as OGEH. I have no idea why this is ulta, but that is the DRL. This is the beak of the motorcycle and the tires, which seem to be dual purpose. It gets petrol disc for better braking performance. Front ABS, yes, single channel ABS. 90 21-inch front tire, and yeah, suspension travel is a lot on this motorcycle. It has no relation whatsoever with the Impulse, but this is the X-Pulse, which has plenty of ground clearance. But even then, if you plan to hit something below the ground, or okay, on top of the ground, there is this bash plate as well, crash guard to kickstarter. This is a fuel injected motorcycle with a kickstarter. That's a nice touch. Says programmed FI X-Pulse 200. Nice graphics, I like it. The exhaust is upswept, and obviously the overall quality of this motorcycle, not much or actually nothing to complain about as such. The swing arm has been altered when compared to the other 200cc motorcycles from Hero, and the rear tire size isn't that big because it's a 120/80/18. Doesn't have to be big because this doesn't have much power. Indicators are not LEDs. The light is though. Light looks nice. You have this beautiful grab rail, single piece seat, which is narrow but long enough, and the tank is long enough, but still it will accommodate 13 liters of fuel, which is actually a nice thing. The other thing is that this motorcycle will return a fuel economy of close to 40 kilometers per liter, which is quite nice, although yeah, the performance is on the lower side comparatively for a 200cc motorcycle. Indicator at the front has this plastic wrapping which doesn't seem to have removed. That is the horn of the motorcycle. Everything is exposed, but in a nice way. Motorcycle does look very purposeful and ready for action. You also have this beautiful hand guards here, and the handlebar is wide enough. Seat is actually comfortable. Seat height is actually reduced from the Impulse, so that it is also good enough for shorter riders. Anyways, let's turn on the motorcycle, and when you turn on the motorcycle, there it does the full swipe thingy, kill switch on. It says this is the tachometer of the motorcycle. This is the speedometer. There's a clock here, and there is the odometer. So telltale lights are placed above, and there is more information here. You see there are the trip meters, average speed, as well as time you've ridden the motorcycle, and the date, which happens to be wrongly displaying. The buttons are a little hard, but you can browse through this screen on the right side. You can pair your phone as well, yes, and then you can navigate using Google Maps, which is a nice thing. Eco mode, which is of no use because the motorcycle engine itself is producing power enough to be called eco mode. Engine kill switch. This is the engine starter button, and these are the pass light switches. Indicator switches, horn is decent enough, mirrors offer good view of what's around, and this small windscreen doesn't really help matters much. The map data over here isn't very comprehensive. I mean, it does use Google Maps, but it shows you arrows and the estimated time delivery as well. Obviously all this is not very accurate, but still it is way better than actually getting lost. And below the front, I was going to say front seat, below the seat, it's a single piece seat. Below the seat there's a USB charging socket as well. Meanwhile, this runs on a diamond frame. The wheelbase has been increased when compared to its siblings, and overall I would say definitely the motorcycle seems to be offering a lot of bang for the buck. But is it so? Well, let's get riding right away. So the first thing while riding this X-Pulse is that you can make your own route if you so please, which means turning on the motorcycle, turn on, and then just go wherever you feel like. Yeah, that is the level of suspension travel on offer, and off we go. Okay, this will never intimidate you because performance is adequate. It's not scary in any way whatsoever. Brakes, very good at the front. Revving the motor, and off we go. Yeah, it runs into the red line pretty fast and doesn't have the oomph. 9,000 RPM is when it says okay, enough, bye bye. But as you can see, this motorcycle isn't about highway riding. Third gear 91, and then it starts to struggle because the top speed happens to be 120 kilometers per hour. 2-3 more kilometers per hour can be achieved if you decide to dug down, and that I'll do right now. This windscreen visor, okay, fifth gear, is not much use honestly, because the person who's riding the motorcycle is going to be supremely tall. Otherwise, if you're short, you're not going to fit on the motorcycle. It takes its own sweet time, and when I say sweet time, it really takes its own sweet time above 90 kilometers per hour to go anywhere, because this might be a 200cc engine, but it has a performance of a 160cc. It's an air-cooled unit, produces 18.4 horsepower and 17.1 newton meters of torque, which is not much, to be honest. So low-end performance is great, which makes it apt for the city, and mid-range is decent. There's no top end as such. So yes, this is the same engine shared by all 200cc motorcycles from Hero, but they've made a lot of revisions, including to the sprocket as well, because this motorcycle actually weighs more than its siblings. It actually weighs more than the Impulse as well by around 20 kgs. But the good thing is, it is the lightest adventure motorcycle, weighing I think 40 to 42 kgs less than the Royal Enfield Himalayan. Now the handlebar is really very wide, which is a good thing because the front wheel is heavy at 21 inches. The rear wheel happens to be an 18 incher. So yeah, the big wheels are made for off-road ability, but then there is the compromise on the street. And when you brake hard, the front bites well. The rear, I mean, doesn't have ABS, so yes, if you brake really hard, then only it locks. Otherwise, it's more than adequate. Good thing is that the brake travel at the rear is so much that it's not going to lock in so easily. Meanwhile, when you apply hard brakes, especially at the front, there's nosedive, because the suspension travel at the front is, I would say, kind of ridiculous, which is actually a great thing for the ride quality, because the ride quality of this motorcycle is really awesome, without a doubt. It glides over the worst of roads, and these tires are not road spec, neither off-road spec, they're in middle, so they are dual purpose tires, knobby sort of tires, which actually helps the cause of this motorcycle to perform quite well on most roads, because our roads are neither off-road nor road, they are in between. Anyways, maintaining high speeds on the highway is impossible with this motorcycle, so it's best if this motorcycle is ridden off-road as such, because that's where it really shines. And vibrations are kept well in bay. I love the smoothness of this engine as well. So Hero's done actually a good job, although 200cc motor, really not stressed out because it's not producing much power or torque as such. Now if you get into 5th gear, which happens to be the top gear of this motorcycle, there is no 6th gear on offer here. It gradually picks up pace, but urgency is not the name of the game here. The pegs are placed a bit on the front side, could have been slightly lower set, or rather rear set, but the pegs are also higher set, which is actually a good thing when you go off-road. And ground clearance is more than ample. This motorcycle, which weighs 155 kgs, has a 825mm seat height, and overall I would say that performance could have been much more livelier from this motorcycle, but the pricing has been absolutely aggressive. There are 3 variants. The 200T is priced at rupees 1.15 lakhs. The 200 Carb is priced at rupees 1.18 lakhs, or 1.19 lakhs actually, better I eat that 1,000 rupees. Meanwhile, the one I'm riding is the FI, the fuel injected version. This one is priced at rupees 1.28 lakhs. Going through the gearbox, really smooth shifts, and yeah, motor gets vocal in the top end. The clutch is also on the lighter side. All the prices I mentioned are on-road Mumbai. So aggressive pricing indeed. Affordable motorcycle for the masses. This is a machine which will bring off-road riding to a lot of Indians, because the motorcycle is very easy to ride. It's extremely easy to ride, extremely comfortable. Ride is splendid indeed, and easy to handle too. Like, it is very maneuverable in the city. So Hero has done a great job, because this has nothing to do with the Impulse. This is an all new motorcycle, period. Grounds up. Meanwhile, the Impulse was the NXR 150 from Brazil, which Honda had rebadged and brought here. So very different motorcycles. Traction is never an issue, more so because the grunt is such that it will never scare you silly. And high speed stability, well, it's not here because it's not there actually, because there is no high speed as such. But this is a very fun and non-intimidating motorcycle, but it's really off-road where it shines. This is a motorcycle which is made for not so perfect roads. That's why we will get in here right away. And let me tell you that even though like this is sort of half off-road, you can't feel anything at all, because the ride quality is brilliant. Suspension does such a great job.
travel is so much, you can just ride without any issue. If I see a pothole, I intentionally go in it, and because of the large wheels, you know, this motorcycle never ever flinches. It just glides through the worst of roads. Want to stand and show some, you know, coolness? That is where the problem lies. Okay, there's a pothole ahead, but here we go. No problem, more potholes, no problem. Absolutely sensational the way it rides. But you know, when you're standing on this motorcycle or standing on top of this motorcycle, there is where the problem happens, because the pegs are a little front set, should have been rear set, because then you can't really grip the motorcycle so well. But I love the way this motorcycle rides so brilliantly well when riding off the road. You can actually ride it fast as if you are riding on proper tarmac. That is the level of performance on offer. Absolutely brilliant. What an amazing off-road motorcycle indeed. I don't even know where I have come, but trust me, I am so freaking impressed by this motorcycle. Absolutely glides through like butter through knife. So after the easy sort of a U-turn, it's time to get back on the same trail, but this time we're going to up the pace a bit more and see how this motorcycle performs. And let me tell you, it just doesn't flinch. It's so freaking comfortable. You can absolutely close your eyes and open the throttle on the worst of roads, no problem whatsoever. That is the X-Pulse for you. That is the level of performance on offer. That is the mindset from Hero MotoCorp with this motorcycle, that it doesn't care a F about the roads. Just get onto the throttle, close your eyes, and bang, you are gone. What a, oh my god, I have no problems going through a pothole. Don't have to worry about your you know, the motorcycle will keep you safe. It's just so freaking slim, the seat. Now the seat is really super slim somehow, but you know, this gives it a proper adventure look, and I love it. So easy to handle, so much fun. What a motorcycle for those who really want to get into off-roading somehow, and it just impresses in leaps and bounds. Onto the road, onto the gas, no problemo. Here we go. Come on, machine, show me what you got. And there is where you realize that it's better ridden on less than perfect roads. And since our roads have a lot of less than perfect roads, this is where the X-Pulse truly shines. So guys, this is my vlog of the Hero. Okay, here bumpy, I'm coming your way. No problem whatsoever. This is my vlog of the Hero X-Pulse 200. Fantastic motorcycle. Definitely could have done with more power and better hardware, especially with the engine, because the engine is an air-cooled unit. Heating is not an issue as such, but at least, you know, more power never hurts anybody whatsoever. Speed breakers, do you really need to slow down? Not really. Just stand up and bang, bang, bang. Again, another speed breaker, no problem. I actually throttle harder on speed breakers because I know this motorcycle is so freaking capable on any given terrain. Bye bye.